think she bought the hype. I think Renee came
Hi,
to her
everybody. We
about
live here on the Political Soulful
you know
Forum.
how they do. What do
I'm
you do?
with Raymond,
Make you
Dr.
successful?
Off the Welly, and my boy Kamal. We got a group of black men here. We're talking about the 2024 election and racism in America. And so I just want each of you to give a quick background, like where you're from, and we'll take it from there. Just let people get to know you all. So let's start off with Raymond.
Raymond from Harlem. What else you want? What else you want to know?
That's good. It's Raymond from Harlem. We're gonna go to Dr. Welly.
Arthur Willie from Harlem. What else you want to know?
All right. And we got Kamal in the place to be.
Kamal, I'm from Harlem. What else you want to know?
Yo. Honestly, I gotta say this. If I want to fit in, I'm from Harlem too. All right. So I want to get into the 2024 election. It's a starting point, but it's not the destination of this conversation. It's the starting point because I think that this allows the entire Black community to get access to the conversation that we have and then to funnel in our similar experiences to then discuss larger issues. So, I voted for Kamala Harris, and I don't know how any of you voted, but I do know one thing. The response to Kamala Harris's loss was quite interesting in the way that many Black people were troubled. Not all, but many, particularly the youth. Many of them were first-time voters who were confused about what happened. Why is this country selecting someone who is antithetical to what America's stated values are, and also to the progress that many white Americans say that we've made in terms of moving away from racism, sexism, misogyny, all that stuff. And I felt like it'll be very interesting to talk to Black men, to present Black men to our community, given that in many ways we were at the center of Kamala Harris's campaign in terms of the false conception that we were all moving from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party because we either didn't identify Kamala Harris as Black, or because she allegedly arrested thousands upon thousands of Black men. And simply, as Dr. Umar Johnson said, we like Trump because we gravitate to his masculinity, his telling it like it is, and so people are getting different sort of conceptions of what Black men think about when it comes to choosing a person to represent them or think about politics, all that stuff. So it's kind of convoluted for me and everything. So I'm going to pass it to you all. What do you got to say about the notion that Kamala Harris lost and it pretty much happened because she failed to appeal to the working class? Let's start off with that.
I don't believe that. I believe she fell because white women and Puerto Ricans voted for what they believe. I don't think it was Black people. We're always carrying whoever running democratically. But I mean, that's why she lost. I think they got a little hype.
I think it's a few things that's going on with Kamala Harris. One, like even just taking it off her as an individual, I think just the circumstances she got handed was just not ideal.
Yeah,
like you're somebody who, for the most part, people are not familiar with at all. People feel like they haven't heard from you in the past 4 whatever years, and then you get handed this election because not even really because people wanted you, because the dude that they got up there his brain is fried. Like, and people are starting to pick up on it.
I could say that.
You know what I mean?
I could say that you kind of knew who she was though, because I knew who she was when she was a senator, and I knew that because she knew how to interrogate dudes when they came for Senate hearings.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't get it. I mean,
A lot
I
of
got
people-
a lot of ideas.
A lot of people
why
wasn't.
she lost.
A lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people are not familiar with Kamala Harris, or at least they wasn't before this campaign. A lot of people generally
was
just were not
like-
familiar with her.
And I just think she get lumped in. I don't even know. Like, people say, "Oh, she kind of got to follow what Joe Biden say." She the number 2, but you can't blame her for his policy. She might didn't distance herself
Yeah, I think that's
too
the big
much
one.
from his policies.
I think that's
Like, I think if she'd have went
was another
off
problem.
and probably said something different, it might would have worked out. But
I think I think that was a bit of a toss. I think you're right. I think that was been a toss up. I think it would have been better than what she trying to stay in line with him
yeah,
because he was unpopular. It was becoming increasingly unpopular.
They asked her that. They asked her, "Would you do anything different from Biden?" She said, "No."
And that's unfortunate. But that I think that was part of the problem. But there's no guarantee that departing from him would, or creating her own path would have helped her. But it would have possibly helped her. It would have gave her a chance. This is not my area of expertise, and I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't know a lot about. I didn't know who she was that well. I mean, I knew her name as the vice president, but I didn't really know her as a senator.
Right.
I
don't think most people did.
And I had heard about her reputation, and I didn't know how true it was because I never did I didn't look it up. Saying that some people had problems with her because she was a prosecutor and all that, state attorney general. But I don't know how she functioned in that role. When she did her speech at the Democratic convention, it did give me a little bit of insight into her. It gave me a little bit of insight into her motivation, how she functioned, and what she does have a strong ethic, I think. But I also think she has a strong sense of loyalty, which she showed Joe Biden. I think that did sort of hurt her. I think it did hurt her because I think she tried to have it both ways, though. I think she wanted to kind of let people know that she's not totally in line with him, but she didn't want to move too far away.
Yeah, she didn't separate,
right? To make it look like
she still wanted his base to vote for her.
Right. And so that was a line she worked, but she was handed with. I think she was set up personally. When I say set up, in the sense that she was given a situation that was almost impossible for any candidate to pull out, and she did better than most people would.
I don't even think she was set up because who else did they have?
Well, Joe Manchin had talked about it for a while, and he was a senator from
West Virginia.
But
nobody,
backed out.
no other Democratic, no other Democrat wanted to run, like in this climate.
Yeah,
because to be honest, this was a bad climate to run as a Democrat.
That's true.
Because, like he said, Biden was losing people interest. People didn't want to.
All that foreign aid, like people wasn't feeling that. Like
it was crazy.
But bad taste in everybody's mouth.
It's not so much of that. It was just that, and then I just think, me personally, I just think this world is not ready for a woman president. They wasn't ready for a white woman president. They definitely not going to be ready for no black woman president. And that just goes. That's just the country.
I think you're right in the sense. I think you're right in the sense that white people's perception.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of, I mean, I think she could clearly handle the job. She showed that she could do that. And I think after her debate with Trump, she showed what she could hold her own. And I think, I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm willing to bet that more white people came out to vote than the previous election. That's my guess. I don't know if that's true or not because it's not my area.
I think they said that this was like one of the lowest voter turnouts like in general.
Oh, really?
One of the lowest like voter turnouts like in general. They said like at least maybe like 15 to just 20 million people just stayed home.
Oh,
see that? But
is that on Harris's side or just across the board?
No, just apathetic voters stayed home.
See, this is a thing that it's a lot of like that's going around. To me, because you could subscribe to all those type of conspiracy theories. You could subscribe to the conspiracy theory that Donald Trump cheated to get in.
I thought
Because
about that.
my thing is, like, the one thing that he likes to talk and he likes to brag.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You hardly heard from him
yeah, that's true.
since he won.
Yeah,
The vibe of it
And
is weird.
it's like I'm seeing where a lot of people say they ballots wasn't counted,
yeah,
and they were saying that they sent the ballots back, and I see people like, and then you haven't heard from her really,
Yeah.
except that concession speech. So
which
I don't know.
was crazy. I wasn't.
Well, they made a point of saying that a lot of the local, a lot of the election officials were Republicans now, that they put them in place now all over the country where they didn't have them before. And so they made a point. They didn't say anything about that after the election, though. I thought that's interesting. They were saying they're in positions of power now, you know.
I'm
so
at
what?
I'm at the
What
point.
does that mean?
I'm at the point where I just think we should just call chaos like they did. I mean, I don't say we storm the Capitol, but I would make them recount all them votes.
I think the problem specifically with Kamala is like multi-layered. Like it's a combination of, one, you got handed this bad
Right,
deal. Two,
right.
you got handed this bad deal with the allotted time that you had to
Yeah.
really just drive energy.
Right.
Two, I'm not like trying to be a Kamala hater. Her campaign wasn't the greatest. Like in this amount of time that she had. Just
Yeah,
me, just
that's
as
true.
a viewer, just watching, just seeing things go.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest. And two, I made this point earlier. Like she's running on a form of like liberal politics that just does not exist in 2024 anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like this. It's kind of hard to describe. Like she's appealing to like the college educated crowd. Like
Yeah,
she's
that's
saying
true.
policy. She's
Yeah.
talking to the middle class.
Yeah,
she's
that's
doing
true.
a lot of this like very middle
That's
of the
true.
road.
That's true.
I don't want to
Yeah.
step on
And that's what
toes
they
too
said.
much
Yeah.
kind of thing.
That's
And
true.
Trump is going up there saying Haitians are eating cats.
Yeah.
Like you from Puerto Rico, like
Yeah.
it's,
Puerto
it's
Rico guy. Yeah.
like you playing two. It's like different kung fu styles.
Yeah.
And you're just doing the one that just ain't really relevant no more.
Right.
And I think that's kind of just where
I
it's falling a little short.
I stay saying that, like, they like I don't get, like, it's not like he wasn't president before. Like
that's another
like,
factor.
we
of it too.
kind of know what he was.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I think this is one of the things that I always tell people. Like I said, I've been studying racism for 40 years.
Mhm.
And one of the things that you learn quickly is that racism is not a rational thought process.
At all.
You know, people will shoot themselves in the foot. The fact that they voted for Trump a second time, I'm not surprised, you know, because he represents what, you know, when he starts talking about mass, you know, people clapping about this massive deportation thing. I mean, on the face of it, it doesn't even sound realistic.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic.
But people want to believe that, you know, particularly white people. They want to believe that this is, you know, this is the ideal. This is the, you know, this man can do whatever. You know?
I don't even think it's white people no more.
Yeah.
I think it's everybody.
Oh, even this.
I think it's everybody.
Have
Like,
also said.
Because like somebody was making a good point earlier, like a real hot button like topic is the migrant crisis, right?
Yeah.
And even if you tell people that, like, all right, it's not feasible to literally kick this many people out. It's not feasible to do this, not feasible to do that. What people are just feeling is when I get on the train, I see 1,000 and whatever's going on.
Yeah.
When I look out the window, when I see this, when I turn on the news, they're
Yeah.
telling me that all the resources in the shelter,
Yeah.
like people are just feeling things
You
and
know
they're
what-
not really operating on.
You know
no
what's
real
crazy
information.
about the migrant crisis? I just think all that fabricated anyway, because I do believe a few months ago they had a deal
Mhm.
to fix the migrant crisis.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Trump
you know
killed it.
who
Trump.
Yeah,
Trump
That's a
told
fact.
them to stop
that's a fact.
because he didn't want that solved, because that would
That's his platform.
If he was
Part
a-
of his
if-
platform. Yeah.
It was the
so.
flame.
And then you got Republican governors, they're busting those
Yeah. Got Abbott from
And-
Texas. Yeah.
because they're doing that because
And,
certain
Santos was
cities
part, yeah.
Right.
are sanctuary
Yeah.
cities.
Mm.
So they're not going to give illegal immigrants up.
Yeah.
So the migrant crisis, I want to say Republican governors created that. And you ever notice that they bus those migrants to Democratic cities.
Absolutely.
They don't send,
Especially the cities with black mayors.
they don't send them. You never seen them bus anybody to a Republican state. It's only been New York,
It's gonna be hell.
California, places that got